Welcome to the That's Good Broncos prediction episode. I'm a guy with a YouTube channel, and based on those qualifications, I'm allowed to pretend to know what I'm talking about here. The Broncos are coming off a massive upset win against the Cowboys. You're welcome, Eagles fans. Also, Denver beat the Giants and the football team this season, so double and triple you're welcome, Eagles fans. The least you can do is let us get the NFC East sweep. The Eagles beat the kneecaps off the Lions recently and then nearly upset the Chargers, and overall are playing a little bit better than anyone wants to give them credit for. So, this may be the least predictable game of the week, which is why I'm going to love trying to predict it. Broncos, Eagles, that's good, Broncos! Please consider subscribing here for Broncos podcasts and Broncos videos. Today's episode is sponsored by DraftKings. NFL fans, are you hungry for a big win this week? Well, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, has you covered. New customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win their game. And if they do, you win $200 in free bets. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. It's simple. You just got to use code DNVR when you sign up over at DraftKings Sportsbook. And customers can also get skin in the game with new same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Again, use code DNVR when you sign up over at DraftKings. Okay, Broncos versus Eagles. I'll give the Broncos a... Man, my whistle's not working. I'll give them a half point for home field advantage. First, we've got Vic Fangio versus Nick Sirianni. This is the first time I felt like the Broncos have had a coaching advantage in a long time. I thought Vic and Pat Shurmur had perfect synergy against the Cowboys, with the offense and the defense playing complementary football, as evidenced by the time of possession and the final score. But most importantly, we saw Vic Fangio pumping his fist in joy as opposed to what he usually is doing, which is sticking his hands under his armpits as he nervously paces the sideline. I'll be honest, I don't know very much about Nick Sirianni, other than that he wears very tight polo shirts to show off his guns, or t-shirts to taunt his opponents, or in a bizarre move, he's been known to clip as many as 2 pins to his visor. Will he be able to clip 3 pins to his visor this week at altitude? That's the question that will lead many to tune in at 2:25 Sunday afternoon Mountain Time. On a more serious note, I think Sirianni, as well as offensive coordinator Shane Steichen, have improved over the course of the season. Think back to week 3 when the Eagles ran the ball just 3 times with their running backs. Last week in a close game against the Chargers, Philly ran the ball 29 times with their backs and another 10 with Hurts, their QB. Like the Broncos, they're starting to figure out their run-first identity. Oddly, the Eagles decided to do that the exact moment they lost their best back, Miles Sanders, to injury. But damn, I haven't done this in a while. Quarter-point advantage to the Broncos coaches. Then we've got Jalen Hurts versus Teddy Roosevelt. I don't know if Teddy Roosevelt is going to be the Broncos quarterback next season, but I think last week proved that he's officially the best quarterback the Broncos have had since Peyton Manning. We know that's not a high bar, but Teddy B is one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Don't know what just happened, according to this graph that Andrew Mason tweeted out. Now, I'm not a huge graph guy, mostly because I never learned to read graphs. But I know it's a good thing when you're in the top right quadrant, the Jokic quadrant. As you can see, Jalen Hurts is not in that upper right part of the graph. He's a little behind the middle of the pack in terms of overall efficiency, but he is extremely efficient in the red zone. Basically, you do not want to be where Jared Goff or Trevor Lawrence is on this graph, and Hurts is not. He's also higher up than Wentz, so Philly can feel good about that trade officially. Now this season, Hurts has 9 touchdowns, 0 picks, and 14 of his 16 combined touchdowns came within the 20-yard line. So again, he's good in the red zone. Hurts doesn't turn over the ball either in the red zone. In fact, he's done a good job hanging onto the ball in general, just 4 picks through 9 games. Obviously, Hurts brings that extra element of mobility that Teddy doesn't have. Hurts has had at least 30 rushing yards in each of his starts this season to go along with his 5 rushing touchdowns. So when you take the run game into account, Hurts actually has 1 more touchdown this season overall than Teddy Bridgewater. That said, Teddy Roosevelt is coming off one of the best games of the season. Small quarter-point advantage here to Teddy Roosevelt. Broncos offense versus Eagles defense. My hope coming off the Cowboys game is that the Broncos offense has found an identity. And that identity should be to run down My hope coming off the Cowboys game is that the Broncos offense has found an identity. And that identity should be run the ball. Run the ball. First, run the ball, ideally with Javonte Williams getting most of the carries. Work play action, get Jerry Jeudy in space, and take deep shots to Courtland Sutton and Tim Patrick. That's what's crazy about the Broncos win in Dallas. Courtland Sutton was very quiet in that game. Now, watch what the Browns do every week, and that should give you an idea of how the Broncos should attack defenses. If Pat Shurmur can keep them in a position to do that every week, I will no longer bully him like I've been doing. That said, I expect him to have Teddy throw the ball 51 times after the Eagles take a 3-point lead on their first drive. Even though the Eagles are 20th in scoring offense, they have the 6th best rushing defense in the NFL right now, thanks to Fletcher Cox and their underrated linebacker Alex Singleton, who leads the Eagles with 83 tackles. Even though Philly is tough against the run, I really hope Shurmur doesn't abandon it if it's not working right away. Philly has had issues stopping the pass, but if Darius Slay and Avonte Maddox are healthy enough to go this weekend, that's enough on the back end to pose some issues for the Broncos. The Eagles' run defense hasn't been truly tested, and the last 2 weeks against the Lions and the Chargers have inflated their numbers a little bit. The Broncos need to start dictating games like they did against the Cowboys, not the other way around. I want to see Javonte Williams lead the Broncos in carries this week and put back up another 100-yard performance. Back-to-back 100-yarders. The Eagles' defense does not blitz very much on 1st and 2nd down. That's good news for Denver. And they don't get a lot of pressure on those downs, so I think the Broncos need to take advantage of that by being patient, taking short gains on early downs and put together long, sustained drives where again Javonte Williams sets the NFL record for most broken tackles in a game. God, my whistle sucks today. Half quarter point advantage for the Broncos. Broncos defense versus Eagles offense. Believe it or not, the Eagles are extremely efficient in the red zone, scoring a touchdown on 23 of their 32 trips this season, 3rd best in the NFL. A big reason for that is Jalen Hurts, who's rushed for 5 touchdowns this season, more than anyone else on the team. Basically, the opposite of the Broncos offense. However, Philly's issue has been getting to the red zone. Now, Devontae Smith, the Eagles' 1st-round draft pick, has quietly been the 2nd best rookie wide receiver behind Jamar Chase. Smith has just 2 touchdowns, but he's caught 38 passes for over 500 yards and is coming off his 2nd 100-yard game of the season last week against the Chargers. If Broncos rookie Pat Surtain can go, Surtain versus Smith is going to be one of the most intriguing rookie-on-rookie matchups of the season. The Broncos proved last week that they can survive a loss without Bryce Callahan, but I'm not sure they can make it work without Pat Surtain, who's quickly turned into the Broncos' best player on defense. A lot of this game is going to come down to how the Broncos take away Hurts scrambles and designed quarterback runs, which is something the Broncos haven't really had to think about since they played Lamar Jackson back in week 4. If the Broncos do what they did to Jackson and make Hurts play from the pocket, I think they'll be far more successful than they were in that game. Jonathan Cooper has been very good, and if Malik Reed is a go, that at least gives Denver depth on the edge, which is also key to containing Hurts. Based on health, though, a little uncertainty, I'm going to give Philly the edge here. Quarter point. And because I didn't give them any points. All right, what are some of the X factors that could really fuck up this game for either team? Well, in 2013, when the Broncos beat the Eagles, the Broncos went to the Super Bowl. Then, in 2017, when the Eagles beat the Broncos, the Eagles went to the Super Bowl. I think you know where I'm going with this. Whoever wins this game is a lock for Super Bowl 56, and it feels like it's the Broncos' turn.
It's my turn! You told me it was my turn!
X Factor 2, Gardner Minshew. Now, don't get me wrong. I like the way Jalen Hurts is playing. I think he's getting better as the season progresses. But if Minshew, that sexy beast, has to come into the game, expect miracles to happen for the Eagles, just like they did for the Jaguars when Minshew led an improbable, nay, an impossible fourth quarter game-winning drive against the Broncos in 2019 when Joe Flacco was the Broncos quarterback, who the Eagles just traded back to the Jets. The one thing both the Eagles and the Broncos fans can agree on is that our teams are better without Joe Flacco. X Factor, Noah Fant is returning from the COVID list, so if Albert O can play, that'll make it the first time those two are both on the field since week 4 against the Ravens. The last time the Broncos lost to a bird team. Oh shit, that might be an advantage for Philly. Well, I do predict a Broncos win, 22-21. The Eagles have scored 22 points twice this season, but they have scored 21 points twice this season. And since scoring 21 is easier than scoring 22, I think we let the scoregami gods take care of this one with a really weird finish to the game that none of us see coming. That's right, game-winning safety for the Broncos, or game-losing failed 2-point play by the Eagles that draws heavy criticism of Nick Sirianni. 22-21. Thanks for watching That's Good Broncos prediction episode. Make sure you subscribe here to That's Good Broncos on YouTube. And if the Broncos win, do we officially have hope again in Broncos country? Can we have hope? Can we have hope? Can we?